Well. Welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Here we go, Week 11 in the National Football League, and it is time to make our confidence picks. So, for those of you who have not watched this before, we don't pick against the spread. We pick winners. And then we rank every game from, in this case, it'll be 14, the game we have the most confidence in, all the way down to 1, the game we have the least confidence in, and we try to get as many points as we possibly can. But before we do that, we got to hold ourselves accountable. So how did we do in Week 10? Well, the record looked pretty good. We had 11 wins to just 3 losses, 81 points for the season. We are 94 wins and 58 losses, 849 points overall. And on the ESPN website, we are at 83.8%. So we have been steadily climbing after a rough start. We actually jumped 3.7 percentage points. So have not had a down week in quite some time, knock on wood, although in this case it'll be my table, which is not made of wood, but it'll serve the same purpose. And now it is time to make our predictions. So 14 games in the NFL this week. So what game am I going to put the most confidence in? I think it's going to be the same game that a lot of you would put the same amount of confidence in. The Jacksonville Jaguars at the Detroit Lions. I'm taking Detroit. How much do we really need to say about this, guys? No Trevor Lawrence for Jacksonville, and they lost 2 straight at home. The Lions are coming off 2 road wins. Now they're going home. Oh, and Jacksonville is last in the league in total defense. Now they're going against the Lions offense. And do you think, by the way, Jared Goff might be a little bit ticked off after throwing 5 interceptions in that last game against Houston? Yeah, give me the Lions. Best bet. Number 13, the Minnesota Vikings at the Tennessee Titans. I'm taking Minnesota. I know the bloom is coming off the Sam Darnold rose a little bit. Over the last 3 weeks, Darnold has thrown 5 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. On the other hand, Will Levis, the Tennessee quarterback, had his first ever turnover-free game last week after coming back from his shoulder injury. So, golf clap to Mr. Levis. The thing with the Titans, you never really know if they're going to be okay or really bad from one week to the next. I mean, if NFL games were 30 minutes long, the Titans might be in the playoffs. They have been tied or leading going into halftime in 6 of their 9 games this year. After that, they have been wiped out. They've been outscored by 76 points in second halves this year. And the Vikings, by the way, have forced the most second half turnovers in the league with 14. Plus their blitz, it's going to mess Levis up. So give me Minnesota on the road. Number 12, the Houston Texans at the Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football. It is the Lone Star State battle. I'm taking the Texans. Dallas be done. It will be hard to pick against them again this year. But hey, CeeDee Lamb should be happy. He doesn't have to worry about the sun blinding him in this game since it'll be played Monday night. And the Dallas defense can't stop a turtle walking through molasses. They got the worst red zone defense, the second worst run defense. They're allowing over 38 points per game at home. Now, Houston hasn't looked all that great on offense lately, though, but Nico Collins could be coming back, and he was leading the NFL in receiving before he went down. But Houston's had issues. They have not scored in the second half in their last 4 outings. I think Collins can really, really help. Give me Houston. Number 11, the Seattle Seahawks at the San Francisco 49ers. Niners are getting healthy. Seattle has lost 5 of their last 6. Now, the Seahawks are coming off their bye week, so that naturally means advantage Niners. What do I mean by advantage Niners? Under Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco is 44-18 in all games that are played after the opponent is coming off a bye week. And I don't love the Hawks defense either, especially that front 7. Plus, San Francisco has won 6 straight against Seattle. Average margin of victory has been 14.6 points. Let's not get cute. Let's take the Niners. Number 10, the Green Bay Packers at the Chicago Bears. Oh, I love when these two teams get together. As a guy who lived in the Chicago suburbs for 20 years, Bears-Packers was always an event. It's just a shame that Tom Brady has to call the game. Sad, sad, sad. Matt LaFleur is a perfect 10-0 coaching against the Bears. Green Bay just had their bye week, and the Bears may as well have just been in hibernation for the last month, especially the way they played that last game against New England. It was terrible, and it led to their offensive coordinator getting fired. Now they've assigned play calling duties to passing game coordinator Thomas Brown. Who is Thomas Brown? Well, last year he called plays for Carolina after they very unceremoniously fired Frank Reich. And on Brown's watch, the Panthers scored less than 10 points in 4 out of 6 of those games. They were shut out twice. Green Bay needs this game after losing to Detroit. Give me the pack. Number 9, the Las Vegas Raiders at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins knocked off the Rams last week, just as I thought they would. Their defense played quite well. They kept the Rams out of the end zone. Raiders coming off their bye where they fired a lot of offensive coaches. So despite the extra time off, there is still a good deal of uncertainty and instability over there. I think Miami takes back-to-back wins for the first time this year. Let's go to number 8, the Washington Commandskins at the Philadelphia Eagles. This is your Thursday night game. Eagles have gotten right. 5 straight wins, 2 of them by 20 or more points. And now they get left tackle Jordan Mailata back from a hamstring injury, so that's going to help the offensive line even more. Eagles are running the ball super well, and Washington is allowing 142 rushing yards per game. That is the 5th worst number in the NFL. Plus, Washington is coming off a very, very tough loss to Pittsburgh, and I don't like them playing on a short week at the Link. Give me Philly. All right, so that was the first half. The first 7 games I feel very confident in. The last 7 games, not so much. There's a big divide between the 8 game and the 7 game. First of all, let's talk the Cleveland Browns at the New Orleans Saints. I like Cleveland in this one. Now, I had a feeling the Saints might stick around against Atlanta last week, but they actually went on and scored the victory. But can they do it 2 weeks in a row, or does the new coach vibe wear off? Well, it's the Jameis Winston revenge game as he heads back to the Big Easy. I like Cleveland's secondary to really neutralize that New Orleans passing attack. Also, Nick Chubb, the Cleveland running back, is getting his wheels back, and he's going against a bottom 6 run defense. And Cleveland just had their bye. They're 3-1 in post-bye games with Kevin Stefanski as their head coach. So give me Cleveland on the road. Number 6, the Atlanta Falcons at the Denver Broncos. Well, you got 2 teams coming off brutal losses here. The Atlanta offense really let down against New Orleans. I'm worried about Kirk Cousins going against that Denver blitz. I don't like the Bronco offense by any stretch, but the Falcons have no pass rush to speak of. Bo Nix, he's shown some progress. He's clicking with Cortland Sutton. Since week 8, Sutton has caught 21 passes for 292 yards. I like the Broncos coming back home after spending several weeks on the road. My number 5 game. All right, I'm going to go with the LA Rams at the New England Patriots. This was a tough one. I'm going with the Rams. Maybe the video cameras will be out for this game. Who knows? The Rams did not seem right at home against Miami. The Patriots, well, they've been playing okay, but they've been going against some pretty bad teams as of late in Tennessee and Chicago. I know they had 9 sacks against the Bears, but right before that, they surrendered 300-plus yards to the Titans. I mean, come on. I think the Rams have a little bit too much going for them. The offense is getting healthy. I'm going to take the Rams hesitantly on the road. Number 4, the Indianapolis Colts at the New York Jets. Colts have lost 3 straight games, but the Jets look completely demoralized. I would have felt a lot better about the Jets in this game if Joe Flacco was behind center, but instead you get the running threat in Anthony Richardson. Hey, let's see how this week's tackling seminar went for the Jets, because the first one sure didn't work against Arizona. I know the Jets defense has allowed just 12 points per game at MetLife Stadium. That does give me a little bit of optimism. I just can't go for a team that looks like it has up and quit. So I'm taking the Colts, not because they're more talented. I just think they got a little bit more desire, and they think they're still in the AFC playoff race. All right, 3 games to go. The Cincinnati Bengals at the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego of California on Sunday Night Football. You've got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and company going against the top-ranked Chargers defense, which has not allowed over 260 passing yards in a game all year. Okay, so then you look at the other side. Now you've got Justin Herbert and those running backs against a not-so-good Cincinnati defense, and the Bengals are doing a great job at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. No pun intended. but they are 1-5 in one-score games this year. Right now, I anticipate a low to mid-level scoring game here. I like the Chargers if it gets to be a physical, grinded-out kind of game. So give me the Chargers at home. Number 2, maybe my favorite rivalry in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm glad I get this game locally. This is the first AFC North game that the Steelers are playing. They got 6 division games to go, and this is the first. I would be worried about the Ravens' horrific pass defense going against the Steelers' offense that just keeps getting better. On the other side, Pittsburgh is 19th in total passing yards allowed, and they're without Alex Highsmith, who'll be out of this game with an ankle injury. Ultimately, I'm going with Baltimore. I know Pittsburgh has won 7 of the last 8, but I think the difference is Derrick Henry and that running attack. I expect this game to be very, very close. Back and forth I go. This is the type of game that gets decided by field goals, and right now Chris Boswell might actually be better than Justin Tucker. I'm just going to go with Derrick Henry making the difference. Give me Baltimore. And finally, number 1, the game of the week in a week that is loaded with potential games of the week, the Kansas City Chiefs at the Buffalo Bills. I'm taking the Bills at home. Chiefs, they've had a great season. They're going to try to stay undefeated. I know the Chiefs are the thorn in the side of the Bills, but you know what? That's in the playoffs. In the regular season meetings, the last 3 times, the Bills have won all of those games by 3 points or more. Both teams have some injuries at the skill position players. At the end of the day, Josh Allen, you know what? He's just a better quarterback at home. I think the Bills have something to prove here against Kansas City. And I just think the Chiefs, you know what? They've won every game, but every game has been close. They're not blowing teams out. I think the Bills just have a good amount of confidence going for them. So I'm going to take the Bills to allow the Miami Dolphins to pop the champagne corks, the 72 Dolphins, that is, as the last undefeated team falls. Well, folks, those are my picks for Week 11 in the NFL. If you got some picks, put them right down there in the comments. Be sure to check out the channel over the next few days. I'll be doing my full Jets versus Colts preview video, also the video for the bowl predictions and score prediction. Everybody, thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe as we continue our march towards 1,000 subscribers. And I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.